question is, are you ready?
What do you guys want to talk about?
Let me talk to you. Yeah.
Throwdown Nation, we are live. It is a Thursday night. We are rolling on Instagram, on YouTube, on Twitter/X, on Facebook, and on Twitch. It is episode 147 of the Throwdown, and today we are throwing down with a Florida-based pro wrestling superfan, jewelry maker, and aspiring wrestler, Brianna Franklin. How you doing tonight, Brianna?
Hi. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. Like I said, like I was telling you before we went live with this, I've definitely been looking forward to this one. I think we're going to have a good time, and
Yeah,
definitely
same.
have some unique perspectives on things. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the first and the most obvious question, and that is, how long have you been a wrestling fan?
For a long time. I started watching it when I was 4, and that's really when I got into it. So, for quite a long time.
Got you. And I read recently that you're 16.
Mhm.
You've been
I'm about to turn 17 in November.
nice. So you've been a fan for about 12 years.
Yes.
So you've got plans to start training and actually enter into the world of professional wrestling yourself. So
Yes.
based on what you know about the business and what you know about the process of becoming a wrestler, what do you think will be the most difficult aspect of professional wrestling for you to master?
I mean, I'm not very good at talking. So, probably like mic work or anything that has to do with promos. Not very good at smack talk. Gotta work on that. So,
Gotcha. So, we had talked a little bit about this before we went on the air, but, going into all of this, do you have any significant athletic background? Have you taken any martial arts? Have you participated in any sports, anything like that, to sort of have a background for the physicality that's involved in professional wrestling?
the most sports I did when I was young was probably like basketball, and that was for like a week because the coach didn't really like me. But I did do some tumbling with my cousin Kirsten.
Gotcha. So, you mentioned that you've been a fan of wrestling since you were around the age of 4. What is your earliest wrestling related memory?
Oh goodness. um, I remember a lot of like the Hardy Boy matches,
Hmm.
like the ladder matches and stuff. That's what really got me into it. Was Jeff Hardy and all the crazy
Oh yeah,
stunts he did.
and the amazing thing is, he's still doing this crazy stuff, and he and Matt are operating at an amazing level,
Yeah,
considering how long they've been in the business, and the fact that I mean, they're not old guys by any means, but for wrestlers, they're old. And to still be operating at the level they are operating at right now is really a testament to them and their conditioning. That match they had a while back with Fraxium was just
yeah.
insane. I mean,
That was crazy. I remember watching that.
hmm. So, what was the very first live wrestling show that you ever went to, and what do you remember of it?
The very first show I went to, I was around 4 years old. I think it was Monday Night Raw. It was in Nashville, Tennessee, and I remember John Cena. He came up and touched my head, and then Brock Lesnar came up and made me cry by scaring the crap out of me. And then I remember seeing The Shield, Dean Ambrose and Becky Lynch and all them, and you know that was really fun.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It was funny earlier this week. I don't know if you watch any of the interviews that Chris Van Vliet does on YouTube, but he interviews a lot of wrestlers, a lot of former wrestlers, that kind of thing. But this week he had a guy on his show named Spike Dudley, and Spike actually, when Brock Lesnar made his debut back in the early 2000s, Spike Dudley was basically Brock Lesnar's victim for um, uh, for that debut, and I mean, Spike Dudley basically made a career out of more or less being a human crash test dummy. I mean, his whole thing is he could just take a beating, and yeah,
Yeah.
and so having seen that interview, I had to find the video of Lesnar's debut and show that to my wife, just just to see what poor little Spike Dudley had to had to endure. But yeah, Lesnar's another one who it's he has had quite a career for himself.
Yeah.
So looking over at the Instagram chat, the Ugly Dojo is in the chat. Alex V is in the chat, and my wife Julia is in the chat.
Hello.
And we've talked a bit about this, but you and your family are people of faith. And
Yeah.
how do you plan to navigate the world of professional wrestling, which sometimes comes with some darkness to it? How do you plan to navigate that world without compromising your beliefs and your principles?
That's a good question. I mean, mostly I'm like really strong in my faith, and I feel like I could actually make it without, you know, losing faith. I just feel like kind of like putting like Jesus and God before anything is you close to your faith and stuff. And I just
Absolutely.
I mean, it would be a little hard, of course, because that's kind of coming into wrestling recently.
Right.
But you got God. You can do anything with Him. So
Absolutely. So, I've seen on Instagram that you've got a little side venture making jewelry.
I do.
How did you get into that, and what was kind of your inspiration to get into jewelry making? You've got some really cool pieces.
Yeah, thank you. I mostly just like making stuff. I've always kind of been. My mom was like right there, just putting beads on the bed. uh, yeah, but like here's like, but yeah, this is our truth bracelet, but I mostly just like always been into making stuff. I really got into making bracelets recently because it's kind of like a therapeutic, like calming thing. Because I suffer with really bad anxiety and stuff, and it just helps me to relax and kind of just calm down, wind down, to just focus your mind on something, and to just kind of get in the state of doing. It helps with the anxiety and everything.
No doubt, no doubt. So away from wrestling and all of that, what are some of your other hobbies and interests?
I love Marvel, which that's a big interest of mine. Music. I'm trying to learn the guitar very hard. Um, I want to get into basketball, but after like everything that's gone and stuff with like my condition, that's get out stuff and kind of just getting the motivation of doing stuff.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. So, we're mostly a wrestling related show, but we do dabble a little bit into pop culture, and I'm always looking for recommendations. So, are you watching or listening to anything cool right now?
I'm really into listening to Sabrina Carpenter and Tate McRae. I think is how you say her name. um, I like Arctic Monkeys and stuff. They have pretty good music. More like newer generation.
Gotcha. And also outside of wrestling, what person inspires you the most and why?
My mom inspires me a lot because she's always motivated and doing something, even when she's not really feeling up to do something. She just gets up and does it, and it's like it pushes me to do stuff that I really wouldn't feel like doing. But she inspires me a lot with the way that and stuff like that.
Gotcha. So what does your family think about all of this? What do they think about the fact that you are wanting to pursue your wrestling dreams?
My parents are very supportive of it. I mean, my dad wrestling and so did my mom. So we're like a wrestling family. And my mom's very supportive, but she gets protective sometimes.
Well, that's just being a mom. And you had mentioned, before we went on the air that you're located in the Orlando, Florida area. So what is your favorite thing about Orlando?
A lot of like the wrestling's around here actually. like the NXT
Mm-hmm.
and Evolve and stuff.
Yeah.
It's real fun to do.
Oh yeah.
And it really doesn't cost anything. I mean, you can go for free and you can sit there and watch wrestling all night.
Yeah, and I know House of Champions and a few other indie promotions are down there as well. I've had a lot of people from the HOC on the show. Matthew Ennis and Max Danziger and Mo Malik and a few others. That's a really good school. So.
As I can to train, I just gotta get in the motivation.
Oh yeah, yeah. So you've got time to kind of sort of figure out how you want to present yourself in wrestling. So what vision do you have for in-ring Brianna, and how do you plan to distinguish yourself from all of the other women that are out there competing to get seen and get noticed? What unique elements are you going to bring to your in-ring presentation? You're breaking up a little bit.
Again, did it come?
I'm kind of losing your audio. I think you just froze.
It's
Looks like we lost her. Hopefully she will log back in. Brianna, if you're seeing this, log back in. I'm going to message her real quick. Well, while we are waiting to see if Brianna is going to be able to log back in, I will go ahead and show you what we've got coming up here on the Throwdown. This coming Monday, the 25th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, I've got episode 148 with Alyssa, better known as Lady Nostromo, and she is a fan particularly of deathmatch wrestling, and she is the significant other of a previous guest here on the Throwdown by the name of Hardcore. I had him on several months ago, and I'm definitely looking forward to having Alyssa on. I think having a guest with the perspective of being the significant other of a wrestler is going to be something really unique, and I'm definitely excited to have her on. And then next Tuesday, the 26th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, I've got episode 149 with War-Driven Johnny Faith. He is a wrestler based here in the great state of Georgia, and he actually has come back in the last year to the business after actually suffering a heart attack. So we'll be talking about his journey as a wrestler and also his journey back to the business after dealing with medical issues and dealing with life in general. And then the following Wednesday, September 3rd at 7 p.m. Eastern, I've got episode 150 with Las Vegas-based Thad Maximus. So anyway, I'm waiting to see if I guess I'm going to wait a few minutes to see if Brianna manages to log back in. If she doesn't, I guess we'll wrap things up. But in the meantime, does anybody in the chat have any questions or any comments, anything at all that you'd like to say? So I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen here. Well, Brianna says she's not sure what's happened. It's working fine on her end. I'm telling her to try to log back in using the link that I sent her. So hopefully we can continue with this. So we were kind of just scratching the surface as to she said her computer's running a little slow, but she's working on it. Well, hopefully we can continue with this because we were just getting into some interesting topics. So in the meantime, those of you in the chat, do you have any big plans for the weekend? Any wrestling you're planning to watch? Any of that good stuff? Well, I guess we'll give it another few minutes and see if we can get her back in and hopefully continue with this. I'm getting another message from Brianna. She said it's loading and she should be in just a second. So hopefully we're about to be able to continue with this. I apologize for those of you that are watching this live. You know, we're doing the best we can here. Sounds like there's some rough weather down in Brianna's area in Florida. So hopefully we'll be able to continue pretty quick. She is messaging me again here. Hopefully soon. Yeah, she said the storms are pretty bad down there. So I don't know how hopeful I am that, well, I'm hopeful that we'll be able to finish this up, but realistically, I just don't know at this point. It's 7:25 right now. If we're not back up and running by 7:30, I think we'll just probably wrap this up. I see El Pringle just joined in the Instagram chat. Hello, sir. We're having some technical difficulties with our guest for this evening. She's down in Florida, and they are apparently having some pretty severe thunderstorms, and we lost connection. We're going to stick around for a few more minutes and see if we can get her back in. Her name's Brianna Franklin. She is a super fan and aspiring wrestler. So, we were having a really good conversation, and I'm hopeful that we can manage to continue and get this whole thing in. I think she's back.
Am I back?
Yes, you're back. Hey. Oh, welcome back.
Cut out. I'm sorry, cut out for a second.
Well, thunderstorms have a tendency to play havoc with this kind of thing.
Yeah.
So anyway, where we were is, I was asking, you've got time to kind of figure out how you're going to package yourself and present yourself in terms of an in-ring performer, and what concept do you have for yourself as a wrestler, and how do you plan to distinguish yourself from all of the other women that are out there competing on the indies and trying to get noticed?
Goodness. Well, for one, I feel like my faith would play a lot into my role and my character in wrestling. I would like to be a heel though. That'd be pretty fun. It's not really something that I've I've thought about it, but it's not something I've exactly planned out,
Gotcha. So, in terms of your fandom as a wrestling fan, you've been watching this stuff long enough that you've probably developed some. What would you say is your biggest pet peeve about wrestling? What aspect of wrestling just kind of bugs you?
It's very controversial. That's the word, I think. I don't know. Like the older guys who think it's more for men than for girls, that it really should just be men wrestling or men watching, when it's really for everybody.
Oh yeah, it is. It is. And the cool thing about these last several years with the rise of the indies and all of this content that's out there, there is literally now a flavor of wrestling for anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, if you look around, you can find a flavor of wrestling that'll make you happy.
Yeah.
So, you know, and this is kind of looking forward to when you're actually a wrestler. But if you could only be one, would you rather be great in the ring or great on the mic?
Oh goodness. Um, Great in the ring. Feel like you're wrestling, like the moves and do and stuff and all like everything is more important than kind of smack talk. I mean, it mostly is mic stuff now, but being a wrestler and knowing what you're doing and everything, I feel like it'd be better to be better in the ring than on the mic.
Right, right. I mean, I can see it both ways. I mean, and that's why, I enjoy both WWE and AEW for different reasons.
Yeah,
For the in-ring wrestling, you cannot beat AEW. But
exactly.
but for the storytelling and the show associated with it, you can't beat WWE.
Yeah,
So um, I mean, I can see it both ways, but in terms, and this is just my opinion, but in for career longevity, um, I think being a good talker is also important because a lot of times it's the talkers that are the ones actually putting the butts in the seats.
yeah,
People want to be entertained, and they want somebody that can talk a good game. And if you can be exceptional in both areas, if you can talk and if you can also go in the ring, you can almost write your own paycheck. I mean,
yeah,
because people that have both of those skills are few and far between that are truly great in both aspects.
yeah,
And so, I mean, yeah, I mean, the net, the old saying, the name on the marquee is wrestling, and so the in ring product is definitely important. But you've got to kind of be able to do both.
yeah.
Um, so looking over at the Instagram chat, G Musevich is now in the Instagram chat, and he's saying hello to us. Um, so do you have an all-time favorite match as a fan? Uh, a match that really, kind of changed your life, and you just find yourself going back to it and watching it, repeatedly.
Oh
Is
my
there
goodness.
is there a particular match that really inspires you?
Um, that's a hard one. I have a lot. Um, I found myself watching a lot of like Shield, like the older Shield, Dean Ambrose and all them. Um, I
Hmm.
really, I really like the oh my goodness, I can't think of the match. um, I can't think. My brain is fried. I really like
I get
most
it.
of Dean's matches because he brought that like lunatic into the ring and stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. Have you been watching the stuff he's been doing in AEW as
Mhm.
Moxley? I
Mhm.
mean, uh, that that man, I swear, if you so much as look at him, he bleeds.
I know. He's got like a death wish or something.
Yeah, yeah, he's crazy. I mean, and some of the stuff he did on the indies, even before all that he's done now, so some of that's even more horrific.
Yeah.
He was in a tag team with Sammy Callahan called the Switchblade Conspiracy, and that's some interesting stuff.
Mhm.
So, in your opinion, who are the best male and best female wrestlers in the world right now?
In the
Who's the
world.
who's the best man and who's the best woman in the world? So we're talking multiple companies. Who's the man and who's the woman?
In WWE, Rhea Ripley. I really love Rhea. She's amazing.
Oh yeah.
She can do a lot. Um, for male, I'm that's a hard one. I've always loved Roman,
Mm-hmm.
even like in Shield and stuff. I've always loved like his like ring persona and everything he brings. He's really good. I also love Darby Allin a lot.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he's sort of the new age Jeff Hardy in
Yeah.
terms of in terms of the crazy chances the guy takes. I
Mhm.
mean, um, and hearing the story of him successfully climbing Everest recently has
Yeah.
just very inspiring. I mean, he is definitely a fearless guy.
Yeah.
So, and this can be present day or past. Looking forward to your eventual debut in professional wrestling, who would be a dream opponent for you? Who would you love to someday have the opportunity to share a ring with?
Oh, if I could share a ring with Lita, I really like that.
Mm-hmm.
She was amazing. I remember really loving her. Or Becky Lynch.
Yeah. Yep. You were mentioning Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
I've something I've mentioned on several of these is now that she is in the WWE system, I am dying to see Rhea Ripley and Jordan Grace work a program against each other.
Yes.
I mean, talk about two powerhouse women. Uh, you
Yeah.
know, and it's only a matter of time. That's gonna happen at some point. And man, I am excited to see that.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm, another match, hopefully series of matches that I'm dying to see, and they've actually kind of teased it a little bit, is Braun Breaker and Jacob Fatu.
Yeah.
I mean, I think uh, those two will put on some bangers.
Yeah.
So, they say to never meet your heroes because they're bound to let you down. But have you had the chance to meet any of your wrestling heroes? And if so, how has the experience been for you?
I did. I've met Baron Corbin. He was amazing.
Oh yeah.
I met him down at NXT when he was in a tag team with Braun Breaker,
Oh yeah,
and
the wolves or whatever they were.
yeah,
Yeah.
Wolf Dogs. He got
Yeah.
in a little trouble because he came down from out of the like stand
Hmm.
to hug and take a picture with me. That was really cool. And I met Becky Lynch. Bawled my eyes out when she came to NXT. She was so sweet. The poster that I have up there of Becky is actually signed by her.
Oh, nice. Nice. So, what is your favorite move to watch done well? And have you thought about what you might want to someday use as your finisher?
Um, I really love Rhea's Riptide.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. Or the RKO.
Oh yeah, you know
I
you can't beat a good RKO.
yeah, I would love to RKO somebody. That'd be super fun.
Well, considering that probably in the next few years you'll be starting your training, I'm sure you'll be RKOing plenty of people.
Yeah.
So, what is your take on the role that social media is playing as a promotional tool in wrestling? And how do you plan to use social media to market yourself when you become a wrestler?
Mm, that's a good question. Um, kind of just feel like using social media to put yourself out there is really good. In either way, I mean, just kind of getting yourself out there with posting and everything, and social media with the way they do everything is like amazing, especially for wrestling because it's like really getting put out there and it's getting pushed more into like mainstream and stuff. It always has been, but it's just more getting pushed through to people and stuff like that.
Gotcha. So, something that we've done in all of these that's just been kind of fun is we have let the current guest pose a question for the next guest. So my previous guest was an Atlanta-based wrestler by the name of Zamir Zuriel. He trains at WWA 4 up here in Atlanta and trains under AR Fox. Um, and the question that he posed is, what is your least favorite food and why?
My least favorite food?
Yeah. What
Mm,
food do you not like and why?
sushi. I hate sushi. I just don't like the concept of eating raw fish or something. It just doesn't settle with me.
Well, that's interesting because, I asked Zamir to answer that question, and he said the same thing, sushi. And actually, I've got to completely agree. I cannot do sushi. My son loves it, and my wife will eat it, but I just can't do it.
It's nasty. It doesn't smell right. I don't like it.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. Looking over at the Instagram chat, I just noticed that Thad Maximus, who is actually an upcoming guest here on the Throwdown, just joined us. So hello to him. We're having a good time here with superfan and aspiring wrestler Brianna Franklin from Florida. And so, since this is part of a series, do you have a question that you would like to ask the next person in the chair?
Mm. I'm trying to think of a good one. If you could pick any movie to rewatch for the first time, what movie would it be?
Any movie to watch for the first time?
For the first time again. Yeah.
Oh, okay. How would you answer that?
Um, I'd probably say like the Fast and Furious movies. Fast and Furious 1. I love fast cars and all that stuff. And their movies are amazing. I would just
Oh, for
love to
sure.
experience those over and over again for the first time.
Gotcha. So you were mentioning earlier that you're a fan of Marvel.
Mhm.
Who are your favorite Marvel characters?
I really like Loki and Bucky. They're my favorites.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I'm definitely interested to see where things are going with the new Avengers movies coming out.
Mhm.
Avengers Doomsday, and
Yeah.
I'm excited to see Robert Downey Jr. play Doctor Doom. That
Yes.
that's going to be really cool, and I'm looking forward to seeing the X-Men get fully integrated into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because
Yeah.
they've been in that little Fox offshoot for forever. So
Yeah.
to finally have them really get integrated into things, I was I'm a huge X-Men fan, have been since I was a kid. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely excited for all of that. Um, we're pretty much at the end of things now. So do you have any? I've got kind of your social media scrolling on the bottom of the screen, but do you have anything at all that you'd like to give some hype to? I know you're on YouTube as Country Funshine, and then you're on Instagram. You've got your Instagram, and you've also got the jewelry Instagram. So do you have anything at all that you'd like to give some hype to?
I'm um I got TikTok, but it's not really an account that I would like people to see. Um I mean, I feel like you have all the social media that really I have.
Okay. Well, as far as what we've got coming up on the Throwdown, let me scroll this over. This coming Monday, the 25th at 7 p.m. Eastern, I've got episode 148 with Alyssa, also known as Lady Nostromo, and she is also kind of a wrestling super fan. She gravitates more toward deathmatch wrestling, and she is actually the significant other of a deathmatch wrestler that I've had on the show previously by the name of Hardcore. And I've actually really been looking forward to doing this because Hardcore was a very entertaining guest. I really enjoyed him, and having her on and getting the perspective of the significant other of a wrestler, I think is really going to be cool. So I'm definitely looking forward to our conversation. And then next Tuesday, the 26th at 7 p.m. Eastern, I've got episode 149 with War Driven Johnny Faith. He's a Georgia based wrestler. He's also a military veteran, and he has actually returned to the business within the last year after suffering a heart attack. So I'm definitely interested to talk to him and find out about his journey as a wrestler, and also hear the story of the heart attack and his journey back from dealing with all of that. And then, like I mentioned, he's actually in our chat room right now, but the following Wednesday, September 3rd at 7 p.m. Eastern, I've got episode 150. I can't believe we've managed to do 150 of these, but I've got Las Vegas-based pro wrestler Thad Maximus. And he seems to have a very entertaining persona, and I'm sure he is going to be a great interview, and I'm definitely excited to have him on and find out kind of what makes him tick. But Brianna, this has been a pleasure. Thank you for your time. and I'm excited to follow your progress and follow your career. Like I said, House of Champions is a great place. I've really enjoyed the people that I've had on the show from there, and the training team down there. I know they've got Kakoa and Bobby Fish, and you really can't do much better than all that. So hopefully that all works out for you.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And for those of you that have been watching this live, thank you. We apologize for the technical difficulties, but sometimes thunderstorms or stuff like that's just going to happen. And but for those of you that have been watching this live, thank you. For those of you that'll be seeing this on replays and clips on the internet, thank you for that. If you like what we've got going here, do the old like, comment, share, and subscribe. And until next Monday, when I'm back with Alyssa, Lady Nostromo, be good to each other, love each other.